So what was I thinking when I came up with the concept for The Long Walk? All stories come from somewhere, and this one had kind of a roundabout journey. I was online, and a friend of mine sent me a YouTube video, and it was of this stick fighting style that is popular in Trinidad called bois. And bois basically means stick. And I'm watching this video and I'm getting really excited about it because I have a martial arts background, and I'm looking at this video and I'm like, man, this is cool. And I was like, it would be really nice to build a story around this whole art and stuff like that. Because like I said, I'm really into martial arts. And that kind of started me on an interesting journey because I always also wanted to write something that was based in Afro-Caribbean culture. Now, I'm not Afro-Caribbean, and I'm not very familiar with many of the cultures, but I do have a number of friends of mine who are from Trinidad, and it often comes up in conversations. So I said, okay, I want to do something about a character centered in Trinidad. However, I don't know a lot about, at the time, I didn't know a lot about the culture. I didn't feel like I was qualified to sit down and write something that would be, involved in that culture. So I said, well, maybe I can write a story about a person that was from that culture. And that way I wouldn't have to go into detail, and I could just use the parts of it that I wanted to work with, particularly work with talk about the stick fighting in the bois. And somehow that led me to our steampunk history that we do, that is based on one of our stories called Rite of Passage. The Rite of Passage stories come out of a concept that was originally created by Balogun Ojitade when he wrote his Harriet Tubman series. Balogun had always seen Harriet Tubman as a superhero, and his Chronicles of Harriet basically work around that concept. We actually did a film years ago that was based on that. Unfortunately, it didn't get produced, but that's another story. But I found myself in that world, and then everything started to come together, and I started thinking about the person who would possess this stick and why it would be so important to the Harriet Tubman Rite of Passage world. Let me step back a little bit. The Rite of Passage world basically takes place in late 19th century. We'll say like in the 1870s and stuff like that, centered around Harriet Tubman being this main hero, and she's surrounded by other people with special abilities. We have Bass Reeves in there. We have our version of John Henry. We have a character named Dorothy Robinson who is in possession of this necklace that was brought over from the motherland that gives her particular powers. And these group of superheroes, you can call them, have migrated to the city of Nicodemus, Kansas, where they act as guardians for the black people who have migrated there to build their own futures and stuff. And our main character, Patience DeVitrell, is traveling to the United States with her father, who is in possession of this spiritual entity, or this weapon, in order to help in that fight and that protection and stuff like that. So, certain things happen, and we end up in a situation where Patience is now traveling alone, well, not alone, but in the care of two other people who have special abilities to bring this particular weapon to Harriet and others in Nicodemus, Kansas. And all this just started falling together. The fact that a weapon such as it is would be so powerful from a spiritual standpoint. And so that ended up, that's where the abilities of the weapon came from. And some of the mythology was actually enhanced by the artwork of Sean Hill. I don't know if you've seen the cover. It's an amazing cover. And when he did this, illustrate this particular scene, it was like way beyond how I imagined it. And I was like, man, I have to incorporate this into the story. I have to go back and rewrite this scene and incorporate this illustration in it because it was that powerful to me, and it added so much more to the story. So that's what I ended up doing. I hope I kind of explained it, but that's in a way where the story came from, the Long Walk. And I hope you get a chance to take a look at the book. It's on sale this week. It's actually one of my most popular novellas. And just to let you guys know also, we are working on a graphic novel version of this book. Jason Reeves from 133 Art had a chance to read it, and he just went crazy over it. He said, man, we got to do this. We got to do this as a graphic novel. So we are in the process of doing it. We're just really sitting and waiting to pull the trigger on it. The script's already been written. We picked out an artist. It's just a matter to move forward with it, and we probably will do that toward the end of this year. But yeah, that's where The Long Walk came from. Go to my website, check it out. and I think you'll enjoy it. Take care. Peace.